Hello and welcome. You're watching Your Trades. I'm Kavita Thapliyal. With me is my colleague Mansi Dave. And Mansi, again, a third straight session where markets were up. Nifty ending a high that we saw was beyond 25,500, and Bank Nifty definitely hitting a 52-week high, crossing almost 57,076. 12% up in this year so far, 2025, Bank Nifty you're talking about. And again, in terms of advanced decline ratio, it was quite neck to neck. But then, good session on the market today.
Absolutely. What a smart close to the monthly expiry session. Nifty advanced for the third consecutive session, mainly led by Shriram Finance, Jio Financial Services, news flows, sector-specific approach and benchmarks doing the talks and rounds during the entire session. Nifty index did touch 25,500 mark since after 3rd October 2024, and now experts anticipate 26,000, which is the another level, and 26,300 also, which will be witnessed on Nifty. Talking about Bank Nifty, yes, that was another one, almost a 600-point up move, 57,206 to be precise, almost 1% upsurge in Bank Nifty. The broader markets did show volatile moves during the session, but in the end, of course, we did see stock-specific as well as sector-specific opportunities in the mid-cap and small-cap bucket as well. Sensex 2 was doing really good in the entire session, and one should say that the metal was the top sectoral gainer, advancing for the 5th consecutive session, led by Hindustan Copper and SAIL. Nifty Energy to advance for the 5th session consecutively, and Nifty Bank did hit its all-time high. So clearly a positive session. Talking contributors, if we have a look at the major contributors, HDFC Bank, Bharti Airtel, Reliance, ICICI Bank and Axis Bank were the top performing larger contributors. On the flip side, SBI, Tech Mahindra, UPL, Maruti and TCS were the stocks which were the laggards dragging in the trades. All in all, real estate and IT, Kavita, were the only sectors which were not performing or maybe took a back seat, but other than that, all the sectors were performing really well.
All right, let's move on, and time to get you the trades and tips for tomorrow's session. And we are joined by Aditya Arora, founder and multi-asset research analyst, Adlitic.in. Hi Aditya, afternoon. And all right, a roundup of today's session in your view, and also your picks for tomorrow.
Very good afternoon to both of you and to all our viewers. Absolutely, today's day was pretty cheerful as all engines were firing at the single time, and the heavy lifting was done by the heavyweights of the market like Reliance, and also accompanied by good strength in mid cap and small cap space. So I think overall, market participants really enjoyed the rally because, as I said, most of the market was green in color today, and I think as the heavy lifting was done by heavyweights. So I think there's some this has some weightage to it, and in the medium term, I think there's more steam left. Although in the short term, I feel that market has overheated quite a bit. In the short run, we have approached important psychological marks. Like for example, in Nifty, we have reached 25,500. So this could be the case of push and pull in the market, wherein a lot of call writers could create little resistance or supply in the market, and there could also be short unbinding on the opposite side. So I think this is the friction zone for the market. I think for those people who have bought earlier in the dip in last 1 to 2 weeks, good time to take chips off the table or book little bit profit if the view is very short term, like 1 to 2 days or 1 week or so. But if the view is little bit medium-ish, like about 2 to 3 months, then I think Nifty is approaching higher levels like 26,500 to 27,500. That's the medium term look. And I think overall the texture of the market is pretty good.
So a good strategy and a good rationale actually. Maybe book part profits, see some flesh and meat in your portfolio. That's the take coming in from Aditya Agrawal. Aditya, good afternoon, Mansi, this side. Yes, no complaints. The markets was really cheerful today. The bulls were absolutely rocking. But when we talk about the stock specific and sector specific approach, what is it on your radar?
I think as the market is turning risk on, so a lot of stocks and sectors are doing well, which usually behave as high beta counter So I have chosen a stock, Adani Port, which is usually considered high beta in the market, and this group as such performs really well in a bullish environment. And today the technical structure has been pretty good and accompanied by good volume. So I think this is a good technical buy at current market price of 1429. Stop loss should be 1370 and target is 1499.
All right, Adani Port, recommendation is of buy, target 1499, stop loss 1370. Thank you so much, Aditya, for sharing your picks with our viewers today. But then let's move on. I have with me Srishti Sharma, our colleague, with all the details on technical charts. So, Srishti, what's the buzz on the charts?
Well, we are here to highlight two counters on the breakout side. First up, let's have a look at one of those stocks from the metal pack, that is Hindustan Copper. Because what was interesting to see in this particular stock, that yes, every time the stock was facing rejection at around 260 odd levels, but in today's trading session, a very strong move coming in on the technical front. You will see it was almost a 3 to 4% jump for this particular stock. And not just that, though the stock has been on the uptrend, it did take a support exactly from its 20-day moving average, and now it's seen to be continuing its journey upwards, hence crossing above those key resistances as well. So this is the first stock we wish to highlight on the breakout side. We're moving on to the next one, and that is Deepak Nitrite. A very interesting one, because for the past so many months you will see that the stock is quite range bound, and not just that, in multiple times, or rather last 5 times, the stock is seen to be taking its support at 1850 odd levels. Last time it was a little above those levels, around 1950, but now continuing its uptrend. What was interesting to see today, that was the second straight day where the stock was on the up move, and it was actually a breakout of a falling trend line as well, breaking past its 20-day moving average as well. So that's why we wish to highlight this counter as a second breakout stock. So these are the two stocks for today. Back to you.
Okay, Srishti, I'll let you leave, but with a compliment. That dress looks absolutely stunning on you.
Thank you so much, Mansi.
Yeah, moving ahead, and now is the time for a word from the wise. Dheeraj Agrawal, MD, Ambit Investment Managers, believes that renewable energy, solar, defense are long-term structural trends and doesn't see any risks. Listen in.
Defense spending is a long-term structural trend. And that theme, I think, continues. Renewable energy, solar, etc. That theme also continues. So these, in terms of businesses, some of these are structural 5 to 10-year trends, and I don't see too much of risk in this trend getting stalled or upset over the next few years, including energy. I mean, India is very close to being very finely balanced on the electricity production and consumption side.
All right, so that's the view coming in for your long-term portfolio strategy. But then time for a quick break, and post that we have a lot of action, especially cues for tomorrow and stocks and news as well.
Welcome back. You're watching Your Trades. Moving ahead, SBI will be in focus as sources suggest 6 banks will be mandated as book runners for the QIP that will be worth 25,000 crore. Anurag Joshi joins in with more details on this. Over to you, Anurag.
State Bank of India, India's biggest lender by assets, is planning a qualified institutional placement of equity shares. This QIP is planned, according to our sources, in the coming quarter, and SBI is likely to appoint 6 banks to manage the 25,000 crore QIP issue. Now, these banks, our sources tell us, are Citigroup, HSBC, Morgan Stanley, Kotak, ICICI Securities, and SBI Capital Markets, which is the investment banking unit of SBI. The sale is likely to be in the next quarter, and the 6 banks are going to be mandated before as book runners for the issue ahead of the QIP. Now, SBI's QIP is also coming at a time when the companies and also promoters are taking advantage of gains, especially before the Israel-Iran conflict, and doing block deals and also raising money through qualified institutional placement. It's also happening on the heels of Keynes announcing plans of about 1,600 crore QIP issue.
All right, thank you so much, Anurag. But then let's move on, and I'm joined by a colleague, Rabinder Degari, with the list of stocks in news. Rabinder, what's up in your list?
Well, yes, on back of order win, Texmaco Rail is in focus, where company has secured a major international order of rupees 535 crore from Camerson. Apart from this, Dilip Buildcoin is also in focus, where company gets professional completion certificate for rupees 1060 crore expressway project in Andhra Pradesh. Moving to Cummins India is also in focus, where Cummins India Limited launches battery energy storage system to power India clean energy transition. Apart from this, Jio Financial is also in focus, where company has invested 190 crore in its wholly owned subsidiary Jio Payments Bank Limited by subscribing 90 crore equity shares. And lastly, on back of brokerage note, PFC is also in focus, where Motilal Oswal has come out with their note and they have maintained a buy rating with target price of rupees 485. They said that the asset quality continues to be improved driven by the stress asset resolution, and they expect a CAGR of 12% and 8% in AUM PAT over FY25 to 26, with ROA and ROE of 3% and 18% in FY27. So back of this, PFC is also in focus.
Well, thank you so much for all of those news, Ravinder. Moving ahead, air pollution in Delhi is a recurring pain point to the extent that it's temporarily reducing surface temperatures. New research warns that this protective effect is dangerously misleading and its long-term health and living are worse, with long-standing implications, fueling respiratory diseases and masking the true scale of global warming. At the second edition of Times Network India Climate Summit, the intersection of air pollution, heat waves and sustainable urban policy is a critical conversation, especially for the next generation of climate leaders. Join us on 27th June to hear from the Chief Minister of Delhi, Rekha Gupta ji, on the roadmap to strengthen climate governance in the capital.
And on that note, it's a goodbye from your trays as well. But then stay tuned for all the information and news on ET Now. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.